What's going on? What's going on? If you see this turtleneck on, you know it's Professor Hans Felix in the building, and we are about to break down NFP. All right. I know a lot of people be talking and saying how scary NFP is and it's intimidating. Oh, well, we ain't scared of none. Yeah, all right. We is not scared of nothing on these charts. You hear me? So we're gonna break down and do a little back testing on how NFP have played out in the past, just so we can anticipate what's coming. All right. Now, first and foremost, if you've never heard of what NFP is, it is the non-farm payroll. All right. On forexfactory.com, all you got to do is hit this little yellow folder right here. Okay. And it'll tell you exactly what you need to know. I'm going to go ahead and click on where it says non-farm payroll over here. And you're going to see that it says why traders care. All right. So look, NFP stands for non-farm payroll, and it is also the unemployment or the employment change. What this does is it helps us to gauge and understand like what how the economy is doing from the last month to the next month to the current month, and see if like we've got more employment going on or less employment going on. So pretty much the gist is this: the if the economy is not getting too many people hired, then that's a bad look for the economy, meaning the economy is slowing down. All right, so typically if the numbers come out less than expected, then it's like a disappointment, which means it's bad for the US dollar, which makes pairs that are like XAU USD, that makes it bullish. And it's the opposite. If things come out looking really good, you might see gold actually sell off, or GBP USD. You might see like if news comes out positive, then you'll see GU probably sell off, and so does gold, or sometimes even US 30. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see that traders care because it's a leading indicator of consumer spending, which accounts for majority of economic activity, right? So if it's less people getting hired, it's less people spending money, or so they say, right? So they say. So now the last couple times that NFP came out, we noticed that the numbers came out good on April. They was anticipating 212, 303 came out. I was like, okay. It's more people getting hired. Cool. So we looked at March, great numbers, outstanding numbers. We looked at February, beautiful, but May, we didn't do so good. And last time we saw this, NFP also comes with unemployment rate. Now, if you paying attention since this year started, we saw January came out with 3.7, February came out with 3.7, March 3.9, and this whole time that was the first month within the year where the numbers ain't come out so good. Then May last month, the numbers ain't come out so good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see how this number, the the unemployment rate comes out and what that does to the markets. So we're gonna first look at gold, and boom, you're gonna see it right here. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is not just to entertain or educate. I want to let you know how you can anticipate and execute and make some profit off of NFP. Now, first of all, let me tell you the biggest secret about NFP. You don't have to trade it. Number two, the best secret is to wait. That's the secret strategy. So what do? Peep, numbers come out at 8:30, right? So if the results come out at 8:30, what you want to do is you want to wait and see how they play it out. Because the gag is you might see price push, right? It will come with some volatility, but some days price will literally like go and take out positions of like previous buyers or previous sellers. So what you want to do is you want to wait for price to return. Within the session, you want it to return back to where the volume came from, right at the market open during NFP. And then if price maintains the structure like it does here, even if it's by 11 a.m., that's when you want to take the trade for it to play out in your favor. And in the next hour, 2, 3 hours, you end the money. All right. So this is how price pretty much reacted on May the 3rd. Let's go ahead and check and see how price reacted for gold that same day. Remember, we said like if numbers come out negative than what was forecasted, meaning like high unemployment rate, at least 0.1% came out above 3.8 that was forecasted, then that's not a good look for the dollar. So if we go on the dollar index, which indicates the indication of the markets, you want to see like when news came out that 3rd of May on Friday, you see at 8:30 that thing tanked, right? Because the numbers came not good, not so good. All right, so then what does this mean for like a pair such as gold? You'll notice that Friday the market went whoop, whoop. That did not look too good, did it? And this is why I say you might want to just wait. All right. Wait for the shenanigans because, yo, they might scoop you and they might drop kick you. All right. You don't want that. But what you can see here, though, is as the hours continued, we saw that price instead drop, pushed by like, well, let me drop down to like the M15. Honestly, it helps to see it better. You notice that price came down, it pushed, came down, right? And you notice if you wait until at least 10:30 and 11, price most likely will retest market open, even if it falls below that 8:30 where news drop, because as you can see, there can be a lot of volatility. Okay, but if you let the session unfold and develop, then you will notice that price will more than likely retest the zones of the New York session, the New York Open or pre-market where NFP struck. And you will then have an entry point and actually make some good money no matter whether it was NFP or not. All right. So now let's go ahead and go back in the past and see how price reacted in April. April 5th. Let's go ahead and look that up. Numbers came out positive, right? So let's check the dollar index. April 5th. Boom. April 5th. You can see that joint right there. Soon as 8:30 hit, bam. Numbers came out positive. They pushed. So what would that mean for a pair like gold? April 5th. Let me use my little calendar here. April 5th. Boom. What time? 8:15. Let's go for 8:15. Boom. So notice at that 8:30 mark, price went and dipped a little bit. But because it was still within the trend, you give that bad boy to at least 9:30, 10 a.m., and you will see clarity instead of just trying to make out what that 8:30 is going to do. Because they might confuse you. And you don't want to be confused because you know what happens when you confuse. All right. You take unnecessary losses. So NFP has a way of showing you that even if there's a lot of volatility coming, you want to wait. All right. Now, look how price reacted right here. Numbers came out, boom, during NFP 8:30, price went one way. But as you notice, okay, as you notice, if you give this thing until market open instead, you give it until market. Oh, what trading are you trying to do? Let me do that again. Trading View trying to get me to pay some money. There we go. On the M15, you notice that price still maintained this low by 9:30. You can see price did a break, retest, and by 10:15, 10:30, have another break and retest. And by 11, you can pretty much tell where the direction of the market is despite NFP. And this would more than likely be an entry for you. That breaking retest would have been all you need to succeed. So all in all, we can see that NFP definitely has its anticipations and it's still tradable, right? You just gotta wait. All right. So next time, which is tomorrow, NFP is gonna drop tomorrow, June 7th, 2024. Understand that there is a way to see what the potential results can be because earlier into the week leading to NFP, you will see news that correlate with the dollar, which means if you're looking at unemployment claims, it has direct correlations with non-farm payroll and unemployment numbers, right? So if they're already claiming that numbers came out a lot more of unemployed people, then that's already telling you, hey, NFP might be numbers might run negative or numbers might come out worse than forecasted, right? Here's another news that correlates with NFP. The JOLTS job opening. All right. So JOLTS job opening numbers came out nasty. All right. So what is JOLTS job opening? And why do traders care? Well, it's released late, but it can impact the market because job openings are a leading indicator of overall employment. So if we're not getting as much job openings and unemployment is like scarce and there's not much overall employment here, then that could already tell you how the story is leading up to be. So these are the things that will lead up to having you kind of forecast like what the non-farm payroll numbers will look like, and that's going to anticipate how you prepare your day during NFP. Okay, so all in all, three things to take away. Now you know how to trade NFP. You wait. Number two, now you understand how certain USD news correlates. All right. And number three, now you can see that it's better to just let the market settle and pay attention to the New York open hours between the 8:30, the 9:30, and by 10:30, 11, you might get yourself a good trade. All right. So hopefully this brought a lot of value to you. I know it did. You're dealing with Professor Hans Felix. You definitely gonna learn something too. I'll see you in the next video. Peace, love, and blessings.